be the first film of a series, and the series is going to be Project Super 9. This Super 9 here is a liquid cooled. It's entirely stock, and we're going to build it up to what our other two Super 9s are at, with the transmission, the motor. So in this first video, what we're going to do is work on the transmission. We're going to pull off the cover here, and we're going to get into the transmission, the variator, and we're going to put a torque drive in there. But we're going to go through all those steps, and then we're also going to do a final gear set. So we're going to start with the variator. This is your standard stock variator. And if it was restricted, you would see a little edge right along here. And I have a pic that I'll display so you can see what I'm talking about, the difference between this and the other one. Put that aside. What we're going to do is install this Molossi variator here. And a couple things I want to show you about it is the back plate. And then you got your rollers inside there. What I want to show you what I did to this one here, because I ran into problems with the Molossi, is, well, a couple things that I did is, one, when I started first getting Molossi, this hole was too small, and so I had to go ahead and egg it out or open it up a little bit so that it would fit over the crankshaft. Something else I needed to do was I needed to cut the corners off just a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Maybe you can see it with my hand. Right up here, right over here, if you could see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little notch out of it. Okay, and let's see, I had to do it on all three of them. And that one there, you might be able to see the little notch. And of course on the other one again, if you can see the little notch that was cut out of it. And the reason why we cut that notch out is because soon as your sliders got worn, this here would turn and would start striking right here. And it did it so much that it wore a groove right here in the side of this pillar, or the support. And so now I've cut a little corner, a little edge out of it, so that when the sliders get worn, it no longer rubs. See if I can find the other one here. Put this thing back together. Okay. So when this is all together, it looks like this. And when the sliders get worn out, there's enough space for the ramp plate to clear over here. And with some of the other ones, what I was having a problem with was the ramp plate was actually rubbing, and it rattled like crazy. So that's going back on. Next we're going to do is pull the whole backside apart over here. Alright, I'm pulling the clutch bell off. A little bit of dust in there. And then here's your clutch. Stock clutch. It still has the original marks on it. So it's definitely hasn't ever been touched. And if you look in there from the side, you probably see the clutch springs in there. But we're going to go over the other one that we're going to install. But this is all stock. These bolts in here and the ones out here are the ones I'm going to be taking off to get to the final gear set. What I'm going to go ahead and do is pull the plug so I can start draining the tranny. And then I'm going to go ahead, while that's draining, I'm going to pull the top plug. Maybe it'll let some air in there, it'll drain faster, maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the rest of these so I can pull the final gear set out. And if anybody's seen any of my other videos, you know that I did pull the whole side off for a final gear set. And so with this video and the other one, you should be able to do it, or know if you're capable of taking on that challenge, because it isn't any easy. Really, you need to have a few tools and a little bit of a knowledge of what you're doing. But if you do, then you should be okay by following my videos. Also, if you've seen any of my other videos, I was using that Skill ratchet, electric ratchet. That was the third one I had, and that one died also. Well, I pulled them all out in somewhat the same pattern that they are in, so it'll be a lot easier to reinstall them. So I'll put this aside.